Overwhelming number of New Yorkers thinks that the Moreland Commission should continue to investigate political corruption in the state. In a poll just released this morning, 72% of voters support the commission's investigations, and more than 80% of voters think that corruption in the legislature is a serious problem. And joining us now, and we mean it this time, from the Siena Research Institute, is pollster Steve Greenberg. And that was a Siena poll, and Steve, it's an interesting finding because I guess there was probably always a little concern about what New Yorkers really understood about this Moreland Commission.
Well, they don't follow it closely. Most New Yorkers, 3/4 of New Yorkers virtually, have no opinion about the Moreland Commission, either favorable or unfavorable. When Siena asked voters how much attention they were paying to the work of the Moreland Commission, what we find is that 3/4 of voters say they're paying either no attention or virtually no attention to it. But despite that, because voters feel there's a corruption problem in the legislature and in state government, 82% say there's a problem with corruption in the legislature, 77% of voters say there's a problem with corruption in state government other than the legislature. Because of that, they want the Moreland Commission or anybody and everybody else to be investigating corruption. Voters are sick of corruption. They want to see it stopped. And that's why, even though they don't really know the Moreland Commission, if the Moreland Commission's investigating corruption, voters are behind it.
Let's talk a little bit about your redo on in the sense that you just took another pulse of the people on the casino gaming issue and the wording that they will see on the ballot. What did you find this time?
Well, what Siena found this month is similar to what we found last month. The wording of the amendment that voters will see when they go into their polling place on November 5th really does matter. When we asked voters a generic question about a constitutional amendment on casino gambling, it was pretty close to break even. 49% support, 45% oppose. But when we gave them the specific wording that they will see, it jumps up to 56% support, 40% oppose. So the wording matters to enough people to really move the dial.
And how about just a quick word on the governor's approval rating?
His favorability rating remains strong, 2-to-1 favorable. His job performance number up a little bit from last month. He's crossed back over that magic 50 mark. So voters like him, a little more than a year out from his re-election effort. Right now, 52% of voters say they're prepared to re-elect Andrew Cuomo as governor, compared to 38% who would prefer someone else.
Steve Greenberg from Siena, thank you so much for being with us today, and sorry for those glitches there for a second.